the telepathy tapes. Let's talk about them. Every autistic person I know is listening to this right now, and I am not fully through the whole podcast, but I did just want to make a video to talk about it quickly. I don't know if I'll make another video or not. So, if you've been under a rock and you don't know, the Telepathy Tapes is a podcast about how it appears nonverbal autistic children are telepathic. They can read the minds of their primary caregiver. This podcast has been blowing people's minds because there is such clear evidence, such clear testing that telepathy is happening. And the scientist that is sort of spearheading this research is like, yeah, I know the tests all come out positive and science won't listen. This is something that's always been infuriating to me, that the field of science just does not want to believe in the immaterial world. And the podcast does a really good job of talking about our object-based language and our object-based thought systems. And it's why science has been so stuck for a long time. They do not want to embrace anything that they can't understand or they can't explain. I have been a little bit bored by this podcast because I already believe all this shit. So they start with, oh my God, telepathy might exist. Now we're gonna show you over and over and over again how it exists scientifically. And that part of it is really boring to me because I'm like, okay, I started believing in this. You don't have to prove it to me. But I think it's really cool that the skeptics will get exposed to this information and it might change their minds. My autistic friend convinced me to stay with it because he said, I just find myself crying through sections of this. And the reason is because you have these autistic people who are fully capable internally and have not been believed and are fully in there and don't have the motor skills to communicate. And you have these parents that just want to find answers and understand their child, and someone is finally listening to them, and it just makes me cry. I'm learning so many things about myself as an adult that I'm just like, how did we not catch this? Not just the autism, but I'm discovering my dyslexia. I have number dyslexia. I can't remember what it's called. We play Terraforming Mars most days, and I'm counting my little money. I'm like, 1, 2, 5. Like, I can't add the numbers. I have more trouble reading than most people, even though I'm a voracious reader, and thank God for audiobooks. I'm discovering that I have exercise-induced asthma, and I only found out because a neurodivergent person that I follow on Instagram mentioned it. My sister has that. They discovered it in her childhood. They did not discover any of these differences/disabilities in me. And I stand back and go, was I just unable to communicate? Was I so shut down by the time I was the age that I could tell people I was experiencing these things? I remember telling my mom when I was like 8, I don't know my rights and lefts. Was that not a little ping to maybe check if this child has dyslexia? Was it that I was smart in other ways and so nobody wanted to believe that my brain sort of had this lopsided, like real bad at certain stuff and real good at other stuff? I'm not sure, but I have to say the telepathy tapes has just been so beautiful and so validating and so embracing of autistic people. And I love that it exists. And I hope that you listen to it.